Okay.
You good?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hearing Things with Julie and Brad. We have a slightly different background today. We might have Rocky join us again, so we decided to move to the couch so we don't have to listen to him cry and scream while we're sitting at the dining room table. I'm rocking some Boston Bruins tonight because they are having a struggle right now, and I'm hoping that I can turn the season around. And Brad is repping us with our classic T-shirt, which will make another appearance next time we get together. So tonight, Brad is going to share something that's super personal to him and something that he struggles with that I actually don't know very much about. I have a little bit of tinnitus in my left ear that started in the past 2 years, but nothing like what you deal with. So our topic tonight is tinnitus, and I'm going to have Brad kind of run with it, and I'm really excited to learn more and see some of the strategies that you use and tools that have helped you along the way and given you some relief. So, without further ado.
So tinnitus is ringing or humming or buzzing or some sound Sorry, Rocky confused me.
It's a very serious topic.
So it's just what it basically is everyone who has tinnitus has deafness, but not everyone who has deafness has tinnitus. Mm-hmm. So what tinnitus is your brain not understanding that there's no longer a sound at that frequency. And so it basically thinks that it missed something, and so it gives you that sound. And so,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I don't like to, I'm not going to get too much into it because honestly, focusing on it makes it worse.
Okay.
And the closest I've come to a panic attack is when it got really bad because it doesn't stop. So there's the irony of my deafness is there's no such thing as silence in my life. Because even when it's quiet, there's always the ringing. So I have a ringing and a buzzing in this ear, and then a buzzing and a humming in this ear. So I have 4 different sounds going on. Yeah. So it's really bad, and it's so what it is, and I'll talk a little bit more about the treatment that I do now. But my audiologist one of the audiologists I have, basically it's a hard wiring of synapses. And so you have your synapses that are hardwired together to play the sound in my head. There's no external sound that I'm actually hearing. It's literally all in my head. And so what you need to do is you need to teach the synapses that it's okay to let go. There's no cure for it, and there's really no known cause for it in most cases. A loud explosion, you can certainly get the tinnitus. Listening to loud music, you can get it because you lose that frequency. So those ears in your cochlear die, and so your brain tries to mimic what the hairs are doing.
Just literally filling in empty space.
Yeah, because the brain is amazing, right? Because it knows that there was noise, so it thinks that it's missing something. So there's no cure for it. Up until very recently, and I'll get into what changed in like a minute. But the only thing you can do is mask it. And so I have 3 programs in my hearing aids. So the first program is just normal amplification. The second one is the amplification plus white noise that plays in my hearing aids to mask the tinnitus. And that's really the most successful strategy, really. You just mask it. You just put something on it. And so, like, I very rarely don't have something going on in my ears, whether, obviously because of the tinnitus, but in order to mask it, I'll have podcasts or music or something playing in my ears because it makes me anxious to have it. The other trick is mindfulness. And so it's okay to be frustrated by the incessant droning, but don't latch onto it. And this is what Dr. Sabine from Tobias Betty is who I saw when I got the Lanier, which I'll talk about in a minute. And he was saying, don't focus on the first thought, because my first thought when it gets bad is, oh my God, this is annoying and anxiety provoking because it won't stop.
Yes, sure.
And the second one is just let it go. Just be okay. You acknowledge the feeling and you let it go. And so there's no like treatment for it. But what I have here is the Lanier. And so what it is a bimodal neuromodulation device. And so bimodal just means 2 methods. So what I have here is a set of headphones, and they're Bluetooth. They're connected to the controller, which has the controller. So I plug it in. And the second modulator is a tongue tip. so it's really tough to see. There we go. So those little gray electrodes.
Yeah.
What I do? Oh no, Rocky, you can't wear those. Rocky wants to wear my headphones. No, buddy, this is not a toy. So what I do is I plug this in. I'll plug it in so you can show you.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, it's really
I know you had mentioned linear to me, but I had never seen it. I really had a chance to talk with you about what it is and how it works.
So this is the linear, and so what it does is I put it under your thumb like that, and you can see all the electrodes. They line up, and they put them on your tongue, and then I put the headphones on, and so I'll show you what I look like. I'm not gonna turn it on, but so
this is wild.
Mm-hmm. So what it is an audio file that the controller plays. And the audio file it basically almost overwhelms my auditory cortex because it plays all over the place. So the frequencies, multiple sounds, and then after I timed it because I was just sitting there. Basically, I use this now for my morning meditation. So it's a half-hour session, and it plays the chimes and the bells and they're like robotic wheels and robotic crickets is what it sounds like. And then after like 5 minutes, it fades to silence. And then it goes again, and it fades to silence. And then it goes again, and it fades to silence. So what it's trying to do is it's trying to interrupt the signals in my brain. And the way it can
you're creating new neural pathways. Almost.
So what I'm doing
that's the intent, I'm loosening up those synapses.
Exactly. So that's what
they're so tight. You're trying to break them up. So tell me about the mouth part.
So I get shocks. These are little shocks. It's not painful. It's just like little electric shocks. Because what that does is the second mode, right? Remember I said biomodular?
Yeah.
This is the second mode. So I have my brain is hearing the sounds, and this is delivering shocks in intervals in varying intensities, and that kind of tricks my brain into learning to let go. And it's been really good. So like
have you noticed a difference?
I have. So I started it in January, and I know I keep saying I've been going through some stuff. And that's all I'm going to say. But stress makes tinnitus worse. And I've had a very stressful, two years. And so it's really, my tinnitus is still bad. This week was a pretty bad week. Mm-hmm. And so, my right ear has been really bad lately. But I can't imagine where I would be if I hadn't had this.
I was going to ask you, you've noticed a measurable difference, even with
absolutely
the external factors that are contributing to the intensity.
So it's usually 2 times a day. So the original treatment is 12 weeks, and you do 2 times a half hour and a half hour. So I would do morning and night, and then the last 2 months I've only been doing it once. Mm-hmm. And so the original clinical trials that were done over in Ireland, University of Dublin, I think they were the ones who pioneered it. The trial was for 3 months. And then my doctor said that he has some people that go 6 months, but he doesn't recommend over a year because there's been no longitudinal studies.
Okay.
So there's but because it's
so they're concerned that the effectiveness
they don't know
decrease, or they really don't know?
They don't know because there's no side effects because it's just sound and shocks. And so the only side effects some people get is a numbness on their tongue where the shocks have. I didn't have any of that. Mm-hmm. So I'll continue until next January, and then I'll stop and I'll see if my tinnitus comes back. The biggest issue we really have is this is a medical device. The treatment is covered is approved by the FDA, but it's not covered by insurance. And so I'm very fortunate that I could afford the $4,500 price tag. It's really expensive, but it's made such a difference in my life that it's worth it, and it's mine to keep, right? So I bought it, and so I'll stop in January, and then if I have to, I'll start back up again. But tinnitus is horrible. It's really bad because it's the irony. I spend all of my day struggling to hear because I can't hear that well, but at the same time, there's no such thing as silence for me. And that's where my meditation really comes in handy because it keeps the anxiety at bay. But it's been a godsend. I can't imagine.
Intrusive.
Yeah, it is. It's always
endlessly intrusive, and there's no relief from it.
No, there isn't. So I would say definitely because I've had tinnitus the entire time. I've had hearing aids, and so
did you have it before you had?
I did. I
So
remember
it's been a lifelong.
teens, my late teens, I got it because I failed my first hearing test at 5, so I've always had hearing loss, but not always had hearing aids. And I'm sure the fact that I didn't have hearing aids early enough made I turned things up too loud, and I made myself deafer. And that's why I love being able to do this show, is because I don't want people to like not get the hearing help they need, like I did. I spent 20-something years not having hearing aids, and I should have. And I know that tinnitus was... Sorry, Rocky just stole a sock. So it's I know. Well, I don't know, because you never know anything. Sure. But there's a good chance that I wouldn't have had tinnitus or tinnitus this bad had I had hearing aids earlier. So please get your hearing checked, because you don't want to get to it, because just now it's 2024 and we're just now getting the first treatment that's actually had any effects. And we have Rocky as comic relief over here.
Stop with my feet.
Yeah, so please get your hearing checked. And if you want to know more about the linear, drop a message below, and I'll send you the audiologist that I use, because they were fantastic. I can't speak more highly enough about them.
Hey.
But yeah, so tinnitus sucks, and there's really no other way to put it. And if you have it, I can empathize. It's a challenge. So yeah, if you want, well, actually next episode we're going to talk about something that kind of dovetails, because it is something else I use still, and it's something I used before the linear. But that is what they call a teaser in the biz, right?
In the biz. Thank you for that. That was really illuminating, and I hadn't realized like the level of noises and the variety of noises and why they were happening. I have a little bit in my left ear that's just like this very high-pitched chime that usually happens at night when I take my hearing aids out, but I'm lucky enough that I can distract myself with reading, that I can just kind of ignore it and fall asleep. But even that little bit on days when it's bad, I'm like, I don't know how you do this all the time.
I don't either. I think so, because the chime is always going to be at a pitch that you can't hear.
Right.
Which is just
which sucks, because I can't hear chimes in real life because I don't have any high-pitched noises. But come on over tonight. We'll show you everything you're missing. But thank you for that. That was really well done. I think it really informed a lot of people. I know it did me, and I'm sorry that you have to deal with that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm happy and excited and encouraged that there's technology advancements now that are bringing you some relief.
Yeah, it's biomedical advances. It's amazing. I mean, it's just amazing.
And I hope my screaming in your ear earlier today, which did happen, didn't cause more tinnitus.
I think it was the pitch I already had tinnitus, so it doesn't matter.
I got a little overexcited because you fixed my connection of my hearing aids to my phone, and I very exuberantly let out a yell and forgot that you were right there, and it was bad. So hopefully...
I'm a big guy. I'm hard to miss.
Hopefully I didn't do any more damage, but it's fine. What are you going to do?
So, that's all I have to say about tinnitus. So let's talk about something that actually does help me distract myself from tinnitus. Books. What do you got?
I started reading a book that you told me about, and now I'm paranoid that it's not the right book because there are two titles that are similar.
Okay.
The Night Circus.
Oh, Erin Morgenstern.
Did you tell me to read that?
I don't know. I probably I love this book.
I just started.
Such a good book.
About a quarter of the way. I love it.
Great timing.
I could not remember if it was the Night Circus or the Midnight Library.
I read both.
I knew there was night in there somewhere.
So the Night Circus,
I like. The other day. So the Night Circus, I am in love with it. Highly recommend everybody to pick it up. A little slow to get into. It's a little confusing. There's a lot of characters and a lot of moving pieces in the same time period. So I got a little stuck, but I think I untangled myself today with one part that I was a little stuck on of who was
who
speaking. Yeah, it's a little muddled, but it's the way it's weaving magic with suspense at the same time and really developing this character slowly. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to give an advance recommendation for this book, even though I'm not done with it yet, but I really like it a lot.
She's got a fantastic style, and bit of trivia.
She's a different style.
It's like it's almost like a magical style.
Yeah,
it's because I mean it's all about magic.
It is.
So it's she's just.
And I'm not a sci-fi fantasy reader at all, but there's something about this that's accessible for those of us that aren't into that genre.
It's not heavily like all the magic. Here's the magic. It's
right. It's cool. It's the way we. I'm at the part now about the clock. The clockmaker just made the clock.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I wish there was a visual of that. So I was trying to imagine it in my mind.
So When is this getting released? I don't think this is. So, a little bit of trivia. Erin Morgenstern is actually from, I think, Hampton, Massachusetts, somewhere out west. And she actually wrote the first draft of this book during November, which is NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And so she wrote the first draft as part of that contest.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So it just shows you can give it a try. You never know where it's
try
going to go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like us, we're giving it a try.
That's true. We're trying.
I'm waiting for the Today Show to call. What do you got?
I got The Hitchhiker's Guide to the
That
Galaxy.
is old school, man.
Douglas Adams. This is actually
wow.
So there's more than one book. There's 5 books. And it's the series. And so if you don't know anything about it, the book starts with a man named Arthur Dent who comes out to his house. And he has to move because aliens need to destroy the Earth because they want a highway to go through where the Earth is. And it goes from there. And so Douglas Adams has such a fantastic dry wit. Yeah. He's such the epitome of British dry humor. It's over the top a lot of the times, but like subtly so.
It's such a cult classic.
Oh, so good. Yeah. So
when was it published? The 70s, 80s?
I think it was like.
I mean, I remember being around.
It was
been around.
Yeah, for a while. It's been around for a while. This was originally 79, so 79, it was originally 79. But I love it. The movie that they had of Alan Rickman, like in the late 90s, that was trash.
Well, was it really?
I didn't like
I didn't see it.
But I like the book so much. Yeah. So like, there's that. So there you go. So if you're into like British humor and sci-fi, that would definitely be your jam.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's it. Thanks again for your hard work and research and bringing that content to us in a way that was really easy to understand and really well done.
Good. Yeah,
nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky, for taking my sock. I'd like to get it back now. All right, we'll see you next time. My feet are cold. All right, bye.
Bye. See you next week.